Today on the Morning Edition, a global goodbye. Mourners fill St. Peter's Square to honor Pope Francis, and tomorrow the world will be watching. Build it and they will come. Anchorage's mayor wants to add 10,000 homes, but can she also build enough public trust to help the municipality bridge the gap? And later, he's 89. He hits the gym daily and has a motto worth sweating for: keep moving. We'll meet the man who's proof that age is just a number and whose workout routine might just put yours to shame, as the Morning Edition starts now. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I love that. Staying active, keep moving, and at 89,
I tell you,
it.
anytime I go to the gym and I see some of those older people, I'm like, hey, keep it up. I'm hoping I'm still doing that when I approach that age, because exercise, it makes you live longer.
Yeah, and it's been beautiful weather. Yesterday, I got outside, did a walk around the block. It was just, I feel like we're like no more, I don't even want to say the S word.
Well, you can go ahead and say it, because there is no more in the forecast. I mean, we're at that time of the year where it's going to be exceptionally hard to see some snow. Now, with that said, our latest ever recorded was May 22nd. I think that was back in the 60s. We are watching that potential for more sunshine in the forecast today. And of course, those temperatures, they're going to warm quite nicely into the 50s as we welcome in the afternoon hours. We could even see some mid to upper 50s through parts of the valley. But we are sitting up under some mostly clear skies to start off the morning, 39 degrees. Now, one thing we will be watching for the day is some increasing wind potential across parts of South Central. Temperature-wise, though, this morning, we are waking up 33 in Merrill Field, 25 in Campbell Creek, 29 in Muldoon. So areas of East Anchorage still seeing those temperatures sitting near freezing. But temperature-wise, we have been able to warm quite nicely each afternoon. We are sitting up under a mix of some cloud coverage this morning across parts of South Central. We are going to see some sunshine, but clouds will thicken up into the late afternoon and evening hours. You can see many areas sitting in the 30s and the 40s, although we are seeing Cordova at 27 degrees up under some clearer skies. So another beautiful afternoon expected. 51 degrees today in Anchorage. Those winds could gust up to 30 miles per hour, and we will see those clouds increasing beyond about lunchtime. Be prepared for those clouds to steadily increase, becoming mostly cloudy to overcast as we welcome in your Saturday. But there's those temperatures for today. You can see areas of the valley. This is where we're going to see those warmer conditions, mid to upper 50s looking possible, and we'll continue to stretch to some 50s in the forecast. I'll have more on that, and of course we've got some winter weather for areas of Southwest Alaska as well as Gamble, St. Lawrence. I'll break those details down and have that 7-day forecast coming up.
You're going to see a lot of people in camps like this because of the constraint on the rules and regulations.
Well, this morning, Anchorage leaders face growing pressure to tackle homelessness, and the clock is ticking on finding real solutions for the city to turn things around. In this morning's top story, Olivia Nordyke sat down with Anchorage Mayor Suzanne LaFrance to get an update on the city's response to homelessness, calling this a transition year. LaFrance says her team is focused on moving out of crisis mode while working on long-term solutions and short-term actions.
I do want to hear maybe your definition of what it would look like to be outside of the crisis mode. Like, what would it make you feel a little bit more secure moving forward towards solutions?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, there'd be fewer people sleeping outside.
Anchorage Mayor Suzanne LaFrance talks long-term, recently declaring a plan to build 10,000 housing units in 10 years, following Meg Zalatel, Anchorage Assembly member and president and CEO of Anchorage Coalition to End Homelessness, recently announcing her departure from both of her roles. LaFrance is confident her administration will complete their goals after the recent Assembly turnover.
I believe we'll have continuity and feel confident that we will, share the same goals that we have now, and that's to, ensure we have fewer people on the streets sleeping outside, and to get people the help they need and ultimately get them housed. And we need more housing here. We do, and that's a big part of it, and it's another key focus of our administration.
But in Anchorage, business owners and residents want solutions for the growing homelessness population now.
It just seems like it's more widespread. We're finding more people like in the doorway when we come in the morning, having to kick people out away from the building when we're opening up, especially now that it's getting to be spring and we're open more often.
As for Anchorage's unhoused population, one man tells us he hopes to see more interactions from decision makers in Anchorage and compassion from his community.
I understand that we have people who pay their property taxes et cetera, et cetera. We're not here to run their place down. Okay, we're not here to run their property value down. We're just trying to survive like anyone else.
Olivia Nordyke, Alaska's news source.
Anchorage police continue to investigate after making a grim discovery during a welfare check at a university area apartment. Officers looking through a window of the College View Apartments Wednesday saw one body and found 3 inside, 2 men and a woman. A neighbor says police believe the bodies might have been there for days.
For about 2 weeks, I've been smelling something around the apartment complex that smells really unpleasant.
Police say the case remains under active investigation, and it is now up to the medical examiner to determine how the 3 died. Alaska's news source investigates has learned an Anchorage nurse practitioner will be in court for trial Monday. This case dates back a decade. Since then, manslaughter and homicide charges have been dismissed. The trial will be focused on controlled substance charges. Rebecca Palsha reports.
And the issue was the amount of pain medication.
Chris Kyle, a nurse practitioner, arrested in 2020 when prosecutors said she gave opioids to a 22-year-old woman who died in 2015.
It's costing people their lives. It's tearing families apart.
But now Kyle's trial will only focus on charges of misconduct involving a controlled substance.
I need to prepare the victim's family for it.
After the case's former prosecutor explained the evidence was thrown out.
The police department and the medical examiner's office had destroyed evidence that was seized in the investigation of the death of Courtney Jones, because the case wasn't charged right away.
This is a criminal trial.
Thursday morning, 10 years after Courtney Jones overdosed, Kyle was in court for a status hearing. There will be a new trial, but only involving controlled substance charges. There is nothing about a manslaughter or negligent homicide charges for the death of Jones.
Because the judge suppressed evidence, I dismissed the manslaughter case. And what I just told you is on the public record.
The State Court of Appeals eventually sided with that judge, ruling that because the evidence was destroyed, the state suppressed evidence against Kyle based on the failure to preserve principles, which means Kyle wouldn't have been able to fully defend herself against a manslaughter charge.
And I will see everyone 8:30 on Monday, which means like 8:15.
But without that manslaughter charge.
Covering the interior after more than a decade online, Fairbanks police are giving their Police to Citizen platform a major upgrade. The website now allows residents to file reports and access public safety information. Department leaders say the redesign fixes outdated software and adds tools to keep the community better connected.
With the new upgrades, there's several features on the P2C that we'd like to point out, just to make it more transparent for the Fairbanks community. We have helpful links on there. We have a link to current active warrants, another one for the national database for missing persons.
The upgrade also includes access to police reports and an interactive map showing where officers have responded to incidents. Moving to Capitol coverage, a bill to let 18 to 20-year-olds serve alcohol in places like restaurants is now on the governor's desk. Saturday is the deadline for Governor Dunleavy to sign it, but his office says no decision has been made yet. The bill passed with strong support, though some lawmakers warn that it could expose young people to more risk.
Every restaurant who serves alcohol, they're under strict rules to train and supervise their employees to make sure they follow those rules. For me, I'm not too worried about the 18 to 20-year-olds. I know other states go a lot lower.
Anchorage Representative Elise Galvin says the bill could help young workers earn more in tips, but Homer Representative Sarah Vance disagrees, telling the Alaska Beacon it is contradictory to allow teens to serve alcohol while still banning them from drinking it.
Is this enough to get us over the hump? Is it enough to have something that actually works for everybody and is a done deal versus what we've been going through?
In continued Capitol coverage this morning, the Senate Finance Committee is set to take up a bill that would raise per-student funding by $700. The plan advanced earlier this week after the governor vetoed a larger $1,000 increase. Governor Dunleavy is now proposing a $560 bump instead. He posted on X that if lawmakers make changes to HB 57, including full funding for correspondence students and 4 charter school reforms, he would sign it. If the Senate version passes, the base student allocation would then rise to $6,660. Covering education in the interior, Midnight Sun Elementary near North Pole could soon be repurposed under a school consolidation plan. The proposal would turn the building into a satellite site for homeschool, school choice, and disciplinary programs. District leaders say there's a need for a location in the North Pole area, but the school's Parent-Teacher Association president says many parents feel frustrated and replaced. The superintendent addressed those concerns earlier this year.
Homeschooling and correspondence education is one of the fastest growing options for students, I would say, within Fairbanks and the country. Pre-pandemic, we were at around 275 students in our homeschool program, and we've seen as high as 12 or 1,300, I believe, in BEST. And so it is an attractive option and continues to be for Fairbanks.
Students from Midnight Sun Elementary will be reassigned to nearby Tecosic Brown Elementary and North Pole Elementary. And if you're heading through the North Pole area this morning, a new construction project could impact your drive. The Alaska Department of Transportation started work on the Richardson Highway just west of city limits. The project aims to reduce crashes by building an overpass at milepost 351. During construction, both east and westbound traffic are down to 1 lane. The DOT hopes to finish the work by October. Coming up, measles is back on the map. Why scientists say the disease could return to the U.S. in a big way if vaccination rates keep dropping. Plus,
the problem is industry is making money. I'm keeping us sick.
And some colorful ingredients could be fading out of your food. Why the FDA wants to ditch certain dyes and what it means for your favorite snacks.
Still holding on to those warm conditions across a good portion of the state. However, out west and through areas of southwest Alaska, still holding on to some of that winter weather. I'll have more on that. But first, sunrise, 6:06 in Anchorage, 5:17 in Juneau. Your full forecast is next.
Well, fresh off that show-stopping performance, the Chugiak High School Choir proudly represented Alaska on one of baseball's biggest stages. The students got to perform the national anthem there at Boston's famed Fenway Park right before the Red Sox faced the Mariners. Under the direction of Ashley Easton, they rehearsed all day, then delivered that performance that left a crowd of more than 33,000 on their feet. The Anchorage School District says it is proof that Alaska's arts programs are turning out to be incredible talent. So, of course, go Mustangs. They sounded great. And you know, Aaron, that is my alma mater, so.
I mean, talk about a cool memory to
right?
Carry with you for the rest of your life, being able to sing right there in Fenway Park. We are seeing more sunshine today across South Central. Now, we are going to see this sunshine short-lived because as we welcome in the overnight hours into the weekend, overcast skies will make a return to South Central and will likely stay with us well into next week. We've got those temperatures, though, certainly remaining on the milder side across a good portion of the state. Many locations sitting in the 30s and the 40s. Even out towards the Aleutians, we're still holding on to some of that unsettled weather, but we're seeing that rain and snow that was impacting areas of the Pribilofs, the Aleutians yesterday. That is pushing into southwest Alaska this morning. But for today across South Central, we are going to stay dry. We've got some mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Beyond noon to 1 p.m., we will begin to see those clouds streaming back in across South Central. We'll still see those temperatures, though, making a run back into the 50s. We're beginning to see things quiet down across the Gulf Coast region for today. There's that area of low pressure as you head out towards the Aleutians. It's slowly sliding to the east, and that is keeping some rain as well as some additional winds and wintry mix through the Aleutians as well as out towards southwest Alaska. In fact, as you look out towards southwest Alaska, we've got that rain and snow mix occurring this morning. Now, on the backside of that low, as you head through the western Aleutians, we've got that northerly flow beginning to pump some of those colder conditions in. So the western Aleutians seeing that transition back to some snow showers throughout the remainder of today as that low continues to pull off towards the east. And we're also seeing areas of southwest Alaska where we're seeing some of that light snow. Now, most of the Kuskokwim Delta is largely dealing with some rain. Areas of Bristol Bay largely dealing with some rain, but embedded within both locations, we are still holding on to some of that light snow showers, which will gradually transition to some wintry mix, if not some rain, eventually later today. So we are going to continue to hold on to some of that unsettled weather for areas of southwest Alaska. There's also a winter weather advisory that goes into effect late tonight into Sunday morning for snow and blowing snow as you head out towards Gamble, St. Lawrence. This is where we could see anywhere from about 1 to 2 inches of snow accumulation. It's the winds, though, that will prove more problematic, leading to some blowing snow with visibility down to less than half a mile at times. So be prepared for that this weekend. So there is that area of low pressure that's continuing to keep that moisture with us through southwest Alaska. Things do begin to taper off throughout the day. And then, of course, as that system pushes to the east and moisture streams to the north, we are going to continue to hold on to some areas of rain and snow for western Alaska. Then as the weekend arrives, you can see overcast skies make a return to south central. Coastal activity will increase. We'll stay dry for inland areas until about Sunday night into Monday, where we'll see that better chance for some rain to build inland. So we are expected to see that return to some of that active weather, but some sunshine remains with us today. Upper 40s to near 50 as you head out towards southeast. Rainfall is beginning to lighten up. You can see through the remainder of today into the night, we're talking about less than 0.4 of an inch of rainfall for the vast majority of southeast, with some additional rain expected as we welcome in next week. Across south central, enjoy those sunshine breaks that we are going to see today as those clouds will increase. Those temperatures will warm quite nicely into the 40s and the 50s, and we'll also see some breezy conditions developing. 54 in Talkeetna, 56 degrees in Palmer as well as Wasilla. So those temperatures are going to be quite nice in the valley today, as well as Anchorage at 51 degrees with some breezy winds. We stay on the breezy side through Sunday. Chance for some showers through early next week, but daily highs will be flirting with the lower 50s.
All right, looks good. Thanks, Aaron. Well, a new study in JAMA warns measles could become endemic in the U.S. if vaccination rates don't improve. Researchers project nearly 900,000 cases over 25 years if rates stay flat, and up to 51 million if they drop by half. The CDC recommends children get 2 doses to reach about 97% immunity. And in today's Health Watch, a big change could be coming to what's in your food. The FDA is moving to phase out certain artificial food dyes, saying they're no longer worth the risk. We take a look at what's behind the decision and what it could mean for your next trip to the grocery store.
Food and Drug Administration Commissioner Marty McCary says a planned phase-out of certain food dyes is aimed at making food healthier.
We are erring on the safe side and moving to remove these from the U.S. food supply.
McCary following up on Tuesday's announcement that the Department of Health and Human Services and the FDA seek to remove petroleum-based synthetic dyes from the U.S. food supply by the end of next year and fast-track the review of natural alternatives.
Nobody wants to eat petroleum. Everybody knows there's enough science out there that we know it's terrible for you.
Specific risks to human health from synthetic dyes have been somewhat understudied, but research in animals has shown a potential link between some dyes and an increased risk of cancer or tumors. The research has pointed to restlessness, learning difficulties, and attention problems in some children with dye sensitivities. Without much hard evidence, some experts see the move as precautionary.
The decision about what to do with the dyes really depends on the degree to which you want to employ the precautionary principle.
The plan for now relies on the cooperation of food manufacturers. The Consumer Brands Association, an industry group for some of those manufacturers, said in a statement that ingredients in the U.S. food supply have been, quote, rigorously studied and demonstrated to be safe. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's News Source app.